During the rotational motion of a particle, whichever force is applied for its rotational motion is considered to be a torque. Load arm is the arm in which the load is placed, and effort arm is the arm wherein you're giving an effort in order to lift it up. Change in velocity with respect to time is nothing but acceleration, so we have m into a. Hello everyone, I'm Vrinda, Faculty of Physics, welcoming you all to the session 3 of chapter 7, and chapter name is System of Particles and Rotational Motion. So here we are studying regarding the particle. If you are considering a single particle, we are studying the particle's rotational motion, how it rotates and what are the terms it has got during its rotation, like angular momentum, angular velocity. Why this angular? Because it's sweeping an angle. So here let us study regarding a torque in today's class. Torque and angular momentum. So what is meant by a torque? Torque means it is moment of the force. So here we are studying a moment of force. That means during the rotational motion of a particle, whichever force is applied for its rotational motion is considered to be a torque. So how it is defined? It is defined as force which tends to cause the rotation of an object along the axis which passes through the center of mass. So what is this torque? Torque is also called as a force. So torque is said to be a force which causes a rotational motion of a object along the axis. Okay, so this is all about torque, and torque as well as force both are equal, wherein the force is applied for the linear motion, whereas the torque is applied always for the rotational motion. So the force which is used in order to rotate the object is said to be a torque. Okay, so next coming to the same topic, that is moment of torque, that is it is also called as force which is caused for the rotatory motion of the object. It is like force that tends to cause rotational motion of object is said to be a torque, which is given by a symbol called as tau. It is pronounced as tau, that is T-A-U is its pronunciation, given by tau. Okay, torque is represented by a symbol which is given inside the bracket, and it is called as tau. Example is turning effect during tightening of the screw. We turn, no, that is turning effect of the screw during its tightening is said to be a torque. So the torque is applied over there. Next is couple. So you got to know what is meant by torque and you're clear with the torque. Next we are going to a couple, that is couple is produced due to two forces that are equal in magnitude, but it acts in the opposite direction. But it do not have the same line of action. It has not got the same line of action. So what is this couple? Couple generally it means it is like you're considering any two objects or particle or a person, correct? So it is said to be a couple which are opposite to each other. So here we have got couple is produced due to two forces which I have rounded up over here. So it is like two forces, one is said to be F1, another is said to be F2, which are equal in magnitude. So consider a lever which is pivoted. Lever means it is a thin rod which is pivoted at the center. For this you can give an example of seesaw. Seesaw, which is in playgrounds. So it is a thin rod or a panel which is pivoted at the center. Okay, here there is a reaction which is acting upwards, and here there are two forces. Okay, this is force 1 and force 2. So here two forces are equal in magnitude. In order to get uplifted, what happens? One goes down and one goes up. So the value is same, but it goes up and down just due to the forces which is applied at one end, that is by the effort arm. Okay, load arm is different, effort arm different. Load arm is the arm in which the load is placed, and effort arm is the arm wherein you're giving an effort in order to lift it up. So the same process is happening over here, that is the forces are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. So this is what it is. This is said to be a couple. Okay, so now I hope you're clear with the torque as well as couple by this slide. Now let us go to the formula of torque, how to get the formula of it. So here, consider a particle P. So there is a particle P with the position vector R. Usually the position vector is always represented by the R. So you have got an axis, 3D axis, wherein you're considering this as X plane. This will be your Y plane and this will be your Z plane. You have got X, Y, Z axis which are perpendicular to each other. Now you consider a particle P somewhere here. So the position vector from the origin is said to be R. Since it is a vector quantity, you're placing a vector above its head. So now you have got, if there is a force which is acting on a particle with respect to O. So the force which is acting on this particle is given by, let this be a force which is acting on the particle from the origin. So you have extension of the position vector, extension of the force, which is a vector product. So here is the particle P and it makes an angle theta over here. So here you have R as well as F. We had discussed earlier, this is a door wherein you're opening the door and you have already opened this door, correct? So this is the marking of the door. Okay, in order to represent the door, I have shaded that part. So now suppose you're pushing. How are you giving the force? It is like you're pushing over here. So the force, this has to rotate. This rotation is due to the hinges which is present over here. This is magnified version of hinges for you to understand. I'm doing like this. So this is the hinges due to which the rectangular slab like is rotated. So this is the rotational motion. This arrow shows you the rotational motion. So force is applied in this manner. This is the force which is applied, wherein you will have your distance from the axis, that is vector R. This will be the position vector. This is the force which is perpendicular to each other from the origin. So here then you have got torque is given by vector R as well as vector F. So torque is a vector quantity wherein it is a product of, that is a cross product of position vector as well as the force vector. So this part can be given as R sine theta, wherein the torque which is acting upon will be in this position. So this is the torque which is perpendicular to the position vector over here. That is, the force as well as the position vector lies in the X as well as Y plane. So here X plane, this is the X plane, and Y plane, this is the bottom area. If you are considering 3D axis, this will be the X plane and you have got your Y plane here and Z plane is perpendicular. So you have got your X plane, you have got your Y plane as well as you have got your Z plane. When that is the case, your XY as well as Y plane is at the base. X plane, Y plane, it is at the base. At the base, you are identifying the particle and giving the position vector at the base. Correct? So now when the position, that is position vector as well as force, lies on the XY plane, then which is perpendicular to that plane? It is Z plane, Z axis. So in Z axis, you can see the torque effect, and which can be given by right hand thumb rule. Okay, so the torque is acting perpendicular to this XY plane. So torque is a vector quantity whose dimension is given by mL square T minus 2 is the dimension. That is like R is a position vector. So we are considering the length which is given by L. And force, you have got M LT minus 2 is the dimension which I had already discussed in the last sessions. So this is about the force, and you have to multiply this with this, that is L. So you have got your torque given by M, L into L, it is L square, T minus 2. So this is the dimension formula wherein your square brackets are very much important. Without the square brackets, it won't be considered. Next, you are having the magnitude of this vector quantity is given by R and F sine theta. That is, this R is having a magnitude, that is a value of R, and F is having a value of F. It is not vector. Vector quantity is having a value of, that is magnitude of R, and force vector quantity is having a magnitude of F. That means a value. Since it is a variable, we don't know the exact magnitude of it. That is why we are considering R as well as F in this case. So how can it be given? That is torque is equal to R is a magnitude, F is a magnitude which is associated by a trigonometric function, that is sine theta. You have got torque is equal to RF sine theta. Next, you have got its SI unit, which is given by Newton meter, because Newton means it is force and meter is due to the position vector. So you have got tau is equal to position vector into force vector. So it becomes tau is equal to its SI unit is easily you can just give it. So this is the position which can be calculated in the lengthwise. So it is given by meters. F is a force. Force SI unit is Newton. So you can give Newton, which is equal to Newton meter. This is how you can give the SI unit of a torque. I hope you are clear with the complete detailed study regarding the torque over here. Next, let us go to angular momentum of a particle. Let us see what is exactly the angular momentum of a particle. So here you consider the rotatory, that is a circular path which is taken by a particle. From its center, the position is said to be vector r. So it rotates in this way. So here is the final position of the particle. Here it is P. This is the final position of the particle, which makes an angle theta. Okay, we all know that what is that momentum? Momentum is nothing but it is given by P is equal to m into v, that is product of mass and velocity of a particle. So angular means it's sweeping an angle. This is said to be an angle that it sweeps. So this is said to be theta. Okay, so the property of any rotating object which is given by moment of inertia times the angular velocity. So linear momentum is given by P, whereas angular momentum is given by vector L. So this is the angular momentum. Angular momentum is of the object is given by moment of inertia times the angular velocity. Moment of inertia times the angular velocity is said to be the angular momentum, where I determines the moment of inertia, and this is termed as omega. So omega represents the angular velocity. So now we have considered the particle which moves from one point, that is initial point, to the final point by sweeping an angle theta. So for us, now we have vector L is equal to vector R into P. This means it is like we are considering the linear momentum of the rotating particle in this case. That is, linear momentum is P of the rotating particle. This is the distance when it undergoes rotation. That is this radius distance. That is a position vector. So you have angular momentum is equal to the particle, that is m into v, linear momentum of the particle. Which particle? The one which is undergoing rotational motion. So here we have got vector L is equal to vector R, and here it is m into v. Okay. So what is this v? You can give v due to the relationship between the linear velocity and angular velocity. You can give it as r omega, that is v is equal to r omega. This determines the relationship between the linear velocity and angular velocity. So here we have got vector L, that is angular momentum is r vector into r vector and this m into omega. So we have got L vector is equal to m r square omega. So m into r square, that is the product of mass of a particle to the distance between, the square of distance between the particles. This is the product of mass of the particles to the square of distance between the particles is said to be inertia, which is given by I, inertia, and left out with omega. So it is L is equal to I into omega. So how is the moment of inertia given? It is product of mass of the particle to the square of the distance, that is the position vector, no, distance between the particles is said to be inertia, and left out with omega, which is given by omega over here. Okay, so this is all about the angular momentum of the particle which we have studied. Now next we are going to relation between the torque as well as angular momentum. What is next? It is the relation between torque as well as angular momentum. So as you all know, what is this torque? Let us consider this as a rough side. So here it is torque, which is equal to R into F, and we have got angular momentum L is equal to R into P vector. On the whole, its relation with angular velocity as well as inertia is given by this. So we have all three equations over here. Now the time rate of total angular momentum of a system of particles about a point is equal to the sum of external torque acting on the system taken about the same point. So this is a statement. I know everything has gone above the head now. So now what let's do? Let us just take the equations form, and finally let us get into one simple equation and let us read the equation and check whether that matches with this statement. So reading the equation and then equating it to statement is much more easier than reading the statement and getting the equation. So now thing is, we will have to consider L is equal to vector R into vector P. Now on differentiating this equation, let it be equation 1. On differentiating, we have dl vector by dt is equal to d by dt of vector r into vector p. Since this is in a product form, we are undergoing the differentiation of the product rule. So here we can just consider dl by dt is equal to, first you will have to take dr by dt and leave p outside as it is. So differentiating only the position vector and leaving your momentum. Okay, this is one term. Next it is plus. Here you differentiate momentum vector and leave your position vector apart. So it is dp by dt into vector r. So this is the skeleton of the thing, whatever we are doing. Next it is dl vector divided by dt is equal to position with respect to time. So change in position with respect to time is nothing but velocity, correct? So I can just give it as v, and your momentum will be m into v. So what do we have? V into m into v. So v into m into v plus, and next dp by dt into r vector. So we have got our dp vector by dt. d by dt, you write it as it is, into vector p is m into v. This is change in mass as well as velocity. I have already clearly told you there is no change in mass. Mass is constant. So it becomes like m into d into v by dt. So which is m into dv by dt. dv by dt. So change in velocity with respect to time is nothing but acceleration. So we have m into a, which can be given as m into a into r vector. Okay, so here dl by dt, that is change in angular momentum, is equal to, since v and v are the velocities which are parallel to each other, so vector product of two vectors, vector product of two same parallel vectors vanishes. Okay, so here since we are considering the vector product or the cross product of these two, that is, this is a cross product of these two, so it vanishes. Vector product of two vector vanishes means it becomes 0. Okay, so we have got m into a into r vector, which is equal to, what is your m into a? That is force. Force is equal to mass into acceleration, which is given by position vector r. So this is the cross product which we are talking about. So dl by dt is equal to f into r is what it is? Torque. You have got your torque as position vector into the force. So it is torque. So this is the relationship between the angular momentum L as well as the torque. So the time rate of change of angular momentum is equal to sum of, you're talking about the system of particles, not only single particle. So it is sum of, you're summing up all the torque of each particle. Okay, sum of the external torque which is applied. So just relate this statement with this: the time rate of change of total angular momentum of a system of particles. So the time rate of change of total angular momentum of a system of particles about a point is equal to, sum of, I told you are including many torques over here, so sum of the external torque which is acting on a system about the same point. This is also acting at the same point, which is equal to the external torque which is acting on the same point. So I hope you're clear with the statement as well as the relationship between torque and angular momentum, which is very important derivation. Now let us move to the conservation of angular momentum. So we all know the angular momentum. So it is like angular momentum is equal to vector p. Its relation with torque was given by time rate of change of angular momentum, that is total angular momentum of a system of particles acting at a point, is equal to the sum of external torques which is acting on the same point. That is the statement. So when can you say the angular momentum is conserved? That means it remains constant. Conservation means what is happening at the initial point, the same thing you get in at the final point. That is, if it is 0 at starting point, 0 at ending point. If it has got equal value at the initial point, equal value will be in the final point. That is, the system is said to be conserved, remains constant. So when can you say this is constant? That is, when your torque is said to be 0. When the torque acting, that is the force, external force which is acting on a particle which is undergoing rotational motion, is said to be 0, then your angular momentum is said to be conserved. dl by dt is 0, which is called as constant. Your change of angular momentum with respect to time is said to be constant. At this point, you can say the angular momentum is conserved. So give the conservation of angular momentum. If they ask you, you can just give it as conservation of angular momentum of the system is said to be conserved when the torque acting on the system is said to be 0. You just can remember this equation, tau is 0, that is torque is 0, when can you say the system has got the conserved angular momentum? When the torque is said to be 0. That is all about this conservation of angular momentum. So in today's class, we had studied regarding the torque, how exactly to give the value of torque, its magnitude as well as dimensions and SI unit, and what is angular momentum, its relationship with the torque, and when can you say that the angular momentum is conserved. So that's all for today. Have a good day. Thank you.